All right, this lesson will use the quadratic formula to find roots or solutions to a quadratic equation. So quadratic formula, first thing you need to know is the quadratic formula. Basically, it gives us our roots. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now again, very long formula, but really all we need to know are A, B, and C. And we're just going to plug in those numbers and solve it. Now there's a plus or minus here. Eventually what we're going to do is we're going to get to the end here and we're going to do this piece plus this divided by the bottom, this piece minus this divided by the bottom. So that'll give us our two roots. Now there's something called the discriminant that's here, right here, discriminant. The b squared minus 4ac is our discriminant. Okay? If this discriminant is positive, we have two roots. If the discriminant is 0, we have one root. And if the discriminant is negative, we have no roots. So no real roots. So two real roots, one real root, no real roots. So again, take that into account when we're doing this. And I'll work, basically, I'm going to work that piece first after I plug the numbers in. And we'll see it happen here. So let's try one. Let's do number one. First of all, what you need to understand is what is A, what is B, and what is C. If you cannot name A, B, and C, you are in lots of trouble doing this. Again, A is the number in front of the x squared term, which is 1 in this case because there's nothing there. We can always put a 1. B is negative 8, and C is 15. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take those numbers and we're going to plug them into the quadratic formula. X equals a negative b, so a negative of negative 8. Again, if you want to go right to positive 8 right away, go for it. Plus or minus square root of b squared, so this would be negative 8 squared. Notice I put that in parentheses so that when you square negative 8, you get a positive 64. Minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 15. We're going to put that all over 2 times a, or 2 times 1. So I'm going to clean this up right away a little bit. I'm going to go 8 plus or minus the square root of something over 2. Okay, so this something is this thing that's underneath the radical, which is your discriminant. If I do this, negative 8 squared is 64. I'm just going to do a sidebar. Negative 4 times 1 times 15 is negative 60. So 64 minus 60 is 4. I have a positive number. That means I know I have two roots. So this number is 4. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 8 plus or minus the square root of 4 is really 2 all over 2. And then I'm going to break this into two separate things. So I'm going to go 8 plus 2 over 2, 8 minus 2 over 2. This is 10 over 2, which is 5. This is 6 over 2, which is 3. And my two roots are 5 and 3. So it's telling me that my parabola crosses at x equals 5 and x equals 3. Okay, let's try another. Let's try this one over here. Sometimes it doesn't always work out nice and neat to get integer answers here. So let's try number 2. And again, you're going to have lots of time where you could practice whatever's left on this page. We're obviously not going to do all of them because there are 8 of them here to do. So we'll get 2 or 3 of them done, and I'll show you the bottom part of what we got to do there. So again, remember you can print this off of Schoology. This is out there. So here we go. A is 3. B is negative 5. C is negative 4. X equals a negative of negative 5, which is 5, plus or minus square root of negative 5 squared, b squared, minus 4 times 3 times negative 4. Negative 4 AC. Okay? All over 2 times A or 2 times 3. So here we go. Discriminant 25. This is going to be plus, and this is 12 times 4. So it's 2 negatives, makes it a plus. 12 times 4 is 48, which gives us 73. So it's positive. We have 2 roots. So we have 5 plus or minus the square root of 73 over 6. If it asks for an exact answer, that is an exact answer. So 5 plus square root of 73 over 6, 5 minus square root of 73 over 6. If it asks you to round to the nearest hundredth, which it sometimes does, then I'm just going to take 5 plus square root of 73, 73 divided by 6, and 5 minus square root of 73, I can't write today, divided by 6. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If you're going to try and do this all at one time, make sure you put that top piece in parentheses. Otherwise, what I usually do to counteract that, let's get out of here, clear this, here we go, good. I just go 5 plus square root 73, and I hit enter. I take that number, and I divide it by 6 to get 2 point. So the plus one is 2.26 rounded off. And then I go 5 minus square root of 73. I hit enter, and I hit the arrow key to get a decimal and divide that by 6 to get negative 0.59. So again, these would not be real nice to graph. We could say it's in between 2 and 3. We could say it's in between negative 1 and 0, but we would not be able to on a graph to get that technical with what we're using. So again, there's 2 methods using the quadratic formula. Again, don't forget the discriminant does this. If we got time, we'll come back and do one more. We'll see what it does. So the other thing that we have is that they'll give us the quadratic formula. And then they'll ask us, hey, what's the equation for this? So what you got to understand is you got negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So you can quickly find a by taking this bottom as 2a and setting that equal to the bottom. If I know that 2a equals 2, I know that a is 1. So I know I have y equals 1x squared. So now all I got to do is find b and c. Well, b, right here, negative b equals negative 2. So b must be 2. So plus 2x. That's easy. And the last piece, the only place we have c is the negative 4ac. So negative 4ac equals negative 20. And we know a is 1. So negative 4 times 1 times c equals negative 20. Or negative 4c equals negative 20, which means c must be, when I divide both sides by negative 4, c must be 5. And look at there, I just found my equation that fits that piece. Let's try another. Let's get crazy and try number 12 down here. Okay? So again, we are really trying to find what our A, B, and C terms are. So we're trying to find this, this, and this. Again, 2a, bottom equals negative 18. A equals negative 9. Okay. I know that parabola opens down because I have a negative a value. Negative b equals negative 12. So b equals positive 12. So plus 12x. And now we've got negative 4ac equals negative 144, or negative 4 times negative 9 times c equals negative 144. So positive 36c equals negative 144. And if I'm not mistaken, 36 goes into 144 4 times. So negative 4 would be my answer here. So negative 9x squared plus 12x minus 4 would get us back to our equation. So again, I think there's one problem like that shows up on the test. So quadratic formula, another way to find two roots. And again, the other way we're going to do this, we're going to take it already in quadratic formula and back it out to our equations. So again, look it over, try some of these problems. I believe there's another worksheet that has some more action on there that you can do. And that's all we got.